What's up, everybody? This is Furious Francis from PlayerEssence.com, and you know what? This is when I've seriously kind of had it with the gaming media, the major gaming media. It comes to a point to where you can just blatantly see that the gaming media is either one, being bought off by Microsoft or Sony, or in this case that we're going to particularly be talking about, Microsoft. Or two, there are too many bigwigs that are running this industry and that are running a lot of these gaming companies, these major gaming sites, that their precious Microsoft, their name cannot be stained. The damage control has to come in. Real damage control. I'm not saying stuff like somebody says Super Mario 3D World should have online multiplayer, then somebody says I don't care. No, not that type of stupid damage control that people on YouTube make up to try to validate their garbage points and because they can't take somebody's opinion. No, not that type of damage control. I'm talking about real damage control, or in this case just disappearing. It didn't happen control. Because what you're seeing right now, this person, Rick Sherlund, he is the real deal, and he knows what he's talking about. And this person that's been shoved in front of all of our faces, Michael Pachter, to give us news as far as the financial side of gaming and the stock market and all of this stuff, is a puppet. Is a pure puppet of Microsoft and Sony. Microsoft to be exact. But he is a puppet. He is a fraud, and he is a fool. And Rick Sherlund, a real Microsoft analyst for 20 years, longer than Pachter's ever been doing this particular thing, a real analyst, Rick Sherlund, has said that the Xbox division generates $2 billion in losses for Microsoft, and they hide it within patent royalties of the Android division, because you know Microsoft blends their divisions, entertainment, with Xbox brand, Android, tablet, Surface, all of that crap. Okay? Rick Sherlund, who is a 20-year Microsoft analyst, has no special interest, nothing to hide, other than it's his job. It's his job to understand Microsoft from a stock, from a financial point. And he kind of talked about this before as far as the Xbox brand, not making any money. But now he's dug a little deep, and he talked to, I think it was Business Inquirer. I forgot exactly the magazine. I got this off of NeoGAF, and I actually linked the full article on the website. So go ahead and look at the description. You can read the link. You can read it on my page, but then you can also read the full article on the site that I got it from. I think it was like Business something. I didn't exactly remember, but anyway, a 20-year Microsoft analyst has exposed the Xbox brand for being a money sink, because all Microsoft does is pour money over third parties, pour money for exclusive DLC, pour money for all these things, have an overheating system that cost them $3 billion they had to fix, and all sorts of other issues and problems. Okay? But the Xbox brand, $2 billion in losses for Microsoft. And you know what makes me mad about this, where I'm questioning the credibility of the gaming industry, the major gaming industry? I go on every single site. Here's VG247. If this was Nintendo, it would be on this front page, because anytime Iwata says anything that's the slightest bit controversial, or if there's Nintendo stock goes down, or if something happens with Nintendo, this is the first site. They will put it up there. They will put it front and center, because they know it's going to attract the trolls. You don't have to take it from my hand. Go on here and look up Nintendo's stock. Look up anything on this site and look up Nintendo stock going down, or look up anything like that. And if you go, you will see there are just hundreds of comments, sometimes 200, 300 comments on that as far as Nintendo stock goes, or if it goes down, or any negative news on Nintendo. But any positive news on Nintendo, nobody comments on this site. The editors, they don't care. Move over to GameSpot. Nothing on this story. Nothing about Rick Sherlund saying this. But if it's Michael Pachter saying something negative about Nintendo, it's everywhere, because that is the puppet the gaming industry wants to shove us. That is the puppet the gaming industry says, yeah, he's against Nintendo, against the grain, against the Western big budget corporate media spending and all this junk that's associated with Microsoft and Sony. Nintendo's not about that. So yeah, we're going to shove this puppet in front of you to make Nintendo look as bad as possible and to make Microsoft and Sony look so good, and in particular to make Microsoft look so good, and they have so much money and they're so stable. That's BS. Nothing on GameStop about this. Here's the top stories, guys. Nothing. But anytime Michael Pachter says something, you know it's a top story. You know if it's negative about Nintendo, you know it is. Go to another site. IGN. Go on the Xbox tab. Nothing. They talk about Madden. Nothing from the major sites. Not one thing from the major sites about this article. This isn't lying. This isn't not true. This isn't joking around. This is real. This is not a YouTuber, just some random person. This is not a rumor. Okay? Rick Sherlund knows what he's talking about. And I'm sorry if this sounds like a rant, but you know what? It kind of is. Because I'm so sick of these major gaming medias, these puppets to Microsoft and Sony, particularly to Microsoft in this case. I'm so sick of them. And I'm so sick of how this gaming industry has unfolded. When I was growing up playing video games, yes, there was the banter back and forth between Microsoft and Sony, between Sega and Nintendo. Yeah, there was rivalries here and there, but things really started getting out of hand when Sony and Microsoft really started playing this price war and basically buying off people. Then this puppet Michael Pachter is shoved in everybody's faces as somebody who's supposed to be knowledgeable about situations. He knows nothing. Why isn't he reporting on this? Why isn't he saying anything about this? Because you know if it's Nintendo. He commented on Nintendo stocks and said that they have a grim future, and he damage controls the 3DS like no other. Like no other. I've never seen somebody damage control the most successful platform going right now. There's not another platform right now that is higher than the 3DS as far as sales go, momentum goes. You know, not overall sales, but just how it's selling. Damage control. All day from Pachter. Oh, well, smartphones and tablets are still going to do better. But yeah, the 3DS is still going to outsell consoles. It's a dedicated gaming device, not a smartphone or tablet. Okay? And all of these people on here, all of these major gaming sites should be ashamed of themselves. Because this was front and center on N4G. This was front and center on N4G. I'll prove it to you guys. I'm going to go there right now. Front and center on N4G. When Pachter news is on there, you see it all over the place. When Pachter's talking about something, you see it all over the place. But Rick Sherlund, a respected analyst, can't get any publicity other than right here on N4G and on smaller sites like mine. Nothing from the major sites. They're afraid. They're afraid that Microsoft is going to take away their special benefits and their free consoles and their free games and all of the handouts and all the money that Microsoft pays out to them, or that they're owned by them, their bosses, they're owned. So they don't report on news like this. But Nintendo, they don't do that. Privately, you know, oh, well, they have stocks and everything, but still, Nintendo's a different type. It's not some huge conglomerate like Sony and Microsoft are with a bunch of different entertainment divisions and all that. Nintendo's not that. So you know what? They'll bash Nintendo to high hell if they want to. They don't care. There's no repercussions. But don't you dare say anything this damaging about Microsoft. Don't you dare say anything like that. Why isn't this on major outlets? N4G got it right. For as bad as this site can be as far as the users go, they got it right. They're affiliated. They don't care. They're affiliated with no one. They're not some huge conglomerate. It's user generated. The users report this stuff. They just maintain their site. I'll zoom in on here. Top story. Don't tell me the people who do the news on IGN and on VG247 and on all this stuff, because they check N4G all the time when they're doing their news. Anybody who's a blogger or anybody who runs the news channels for these sites, they check this site. N4G is very popular, very widespread. They check this site. They've seen it, and they've been told not to post it. They've been told not to. Now, I haven't even gotten into the article. I haven't even gotten to what he said. It's just damaging based on that. I just said Rick Sherlund, $2 billion loss from Android patent royalties. They hide them in there. Now let me tell you exactly what Rick Sherlund said. I'm going to go over something. I'm going to go over some of the article. Definitely, like I said, head over to playeressence.com, read the full article from the link, read what I have to say here. This is very interesting. Sherlund says that if you back out the Android profits, Microsoft is probably losing $2.5 billion on Skype, Xbox, and Windows Phone. Of that, $2 billion in losses are attributed to the Xbox platform. Sherlund believes Microsoft needs to spin out Xbox. He sees it as an orphan group at Microsoft that doesn't really fit with anything it's doing. Investors are blind to Xbox's struggles, says Sherlund, because they are concealed by the hugely profitable Android royalties. I will repeat that. Investors are blind to the Xbox's struggles, says Rick Sherlund, because they are, quotations, concealed by the hugely profitable Android royalties. This fraud Michael Pachter makes it seem like Microsoft's gaming division is doing so much better than Nintendo's, and Nintendo's so doomed. This is BS. He knows what he's talking about. He doesn't have any special interests like Pachter does. Whoever, and you know what, the funny thing is that we've seen less and less of Pachter's quotes and stuff because people are starting to realize that he is a joke. He really is a joke. And for anybody who said something negative about what I say and what I do, I have no ties to any of these companies. Nintendo, nobody pays me. They don't pay me. I get paid by my advertising agency, okay? And I got another business. I work and I get paid on my own. I don't have to be loyal to anybody. I don't have to damage control or do anything for anybody. I just say my opinion and I just report the news, okay? And this that's going on right here from these this is damage control, or this is, in this case, no control. Just don't report on it. Silence. Like I said, if this was Nintendo, this would be over every single website. If this was Nintendo, this would be on every single website. And you know what? The people who work at IGN and the people who work at those places and their higher-ups that are telling them not to, you guys should be ashamed. You guys should be ashamed that you guys are money-hatting and you guys are doing this, because it's like the gaming industry should be fair and balanced. Journalism should be fair and balanced to all. For you guys not reporting on this, but reporting on any time Nintendo, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous that of what's going on in this industry. You know, and I'll read a little bit more. It says, Microsoft is generating $2 billion per year in revenue from Android patent royalties, says Nomura analyst Rick Sherlund in a new note on the company. For the past few years, Microsoft reported the revenue and operating losses of the entertainment and devices, which was the group that housed the Xbox, Windows Phone, and those Android royalty payments. The group always seemed to be profitable, but Sherlund says it's largely because of the Android money. This is undeniable proof, in my opinion, and I trust Rick Sherlund. For all of you guys watching this, please spread this word if you can. If any of those sites have like a lot of these sites, you can tip them news. Tip them this news, even though I know they've seen it, but send it again. Send it to them again, because whenever negative news comes up, whenever Nintendo's stock goes down or Nintendo's Q2 goes out, I get a million emails from trolls, from haters, from all sorts of people. I get news from my loyal fans saying, "Hey, well, here's how Nintendo did, blah blah blah." And I look at, and I put it up, and I say my opinion. Whether it's good or bad. When Nintendo wasn't listed in one of the things for the Japanese companies as far as their stock prices go, because their stock took a hit, I reported on that. The fact that these sites aren't doing this makes them uncredible, in my opinion. You cannot have credibility if you are not willing to report on something like this from a 20-year Microsoft analyst. It's sad. It's definitely sad, and I think I've expended everything that I'm going to say on this topic, but I'll probably revisit it because I'll probably think of more things to say, and I'll probably make another video. This one's already long enough for basically a news flash. But this is, like I said, more of a rant mixed in with news. But it's ridiculous. I want to know what you guys think about this. Head over to playeressence.com, join the community, hear what they have to say on it. There's already 25 comments going. So definitely, I want to know what you guys have to say. Comment below. Make sure you guys like the video if you guys liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Share this video with your friends, please. check out playeressence.com. Also check out our partner sites at Critical Hit Productions and at Nintendo. They have good content that they've been that's been going up today and yesterday and all sorts of stuff. So check out those sites as well. In the description below, you'll be able to find the links to all of the articles and all the things that I talked about in this video. All right, once again, I am Fierce Francis, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.